guys, we're here at, of course, the Mecca, and it's leg day. So there's not much to say about that. Just gonna grind it out. A lot of people count how many days are left to a show. I count how many days are left of each body part I have. So including this one, I have about 3 more leg days. So I'm not gonna leave until I either throw up or I have to be pushed out in a wheelchair. So let's get it. So, since the last time I've been here, which I feel like I didn't even leave, after I was done with back day, came back for cardio. I did an hour on the stairs. And before that, I did some abs. And then because this gym closes at midnight, they shut the lights out on me. I have a membership at 24/7, which I'll leave from here and go directly there. And I'll either do more cardio or I'll practice my routine. Something that I think people don't care a lot about in bodybuilding anymore, and that's the routines, except for the classic division. And the more I get into the pro level, I get why. You only have 7 days out of the week. If you're only gonna get judged on your ankles up, and you're gonna get 0 points for your routine, when you take time away from your workout, from your rest, from cardio, to work on something, it seems like nobody gives a shit about. But that's part of what I'm trying to do, and you know, to be a revolutionary and someone trying to start something up in a sport, you have to do things people aren't doing, and even if people aren't rewarding it, you still have to try and be a martyr for that and be an example. But it's rough because as soon as I'm done with cardio, anyone who does cardio, the next thing you want to do is shower and collapse on the couch, and I'm still going up to the posing room and practicing my routine, and I don't just do my mandatories. I really try and do an actual routine to the music, to the beat. So it's just, you know, practicing 5 seconds, then go back and make those 5 seconds perfect. Then the next 5 seconds, then go back and do all 10 seconds together. So it's a regimen that it is very annoying, but I'm hoping it'll pay off in the end, because your routines might not help you that day when you're on stage, but I bet you the next time that you're getting on stage, you will get one of these where people are elbowing and saying, hey, watch, I saw this guy's routine last time. And that right there is enough for me. If I can get people to at least say, you know, shh, he's about to do his routine, I won. And then after I left, I ate 14 egg whites. I put some like mushrooms and spinach in there, but that's it. Ate that, went to bed, got up, did cardio again. And now it's leg day. It's not really too heavy. Being about 9 days out now from a show, it's you battle between that, you know, trying to be ego and trying to be smart. So I could squat 6 plates, but man, when you get lean, the tendons start to go and everything feels like a tight rubber band. You don't have that padding from the fat. You also don't have that strength from those calories, but I think you can always justify training heavy, and if God forbid, knock on wood, something happens, you know what, you could say you were going all out for that show. But man, doing it for like fun or trying to show off a magazine, even if I wanted to now do extra weight just for this video and something happened to me, I would never be able to forgive myself, ever. And there's been guys in this gym, not to name any pros that have done it, but they got hurt and hindered their career for a photo shoot. And like, I want to say, you know, they're going all out for their fans and they want to show that they're hardcore and get their name out. But man, that's just not being smart. And really, to tell you the truth, if I did an extra plate or two, the muscle I would have got from that, the muscle growth, wouldn't kick in for another 9 days anyway. So you're literally putting yourself under this toll for muscle that's not gonna grow until after your show anyway. So man, for everybody out there who's getting ready for a show and all these stupid quotes, go till you die, squat till you die, and all this shit, give it your all. There's giving it your all mentally, and there's giving it your all that your body can take physically. And that's where it comes into learning your body. And that's a big problem. And I'm gonna preach in every single one of these videos. Because I'm doing a video, don't watch this video and say, he's doing that, I'm gonna do that. Do your version of it. When I was growing up, like I said in our last video, I'd watch guys and I'd watch them doing these crazy exercises, but it's because we didn't see the 10, 15 years of the groundwork that they put to make their body look like that. So when you see them doing some random ass shit, you're thinking, that dude's got the best back in bodybuilding. He's doing this or this weight or this exercise or this handle. That's what I need to do. And that's not necessarily what got that back to look like that to even draw your attention. So there's giving your all mentally and giving your all physically. And that you're just gonna have to figure out on your own, trial and error. But I promise you, it's never worth it to push way past that strength toll. And as you can see in the beginning, I stretch. Stretch. Some bodybuilders want to stretch after the workout. I'm getting old, I'm 33. I need to stretch out that fascia and those rubber bands that are trying to tighten up. And then that way I can get down, get deep, because for all you fucking pussies out there that are saying your legs don't grow, I promise you, if I look at your squat, you're not going all the way down. And sometimes it's not because of lack of mental capacity or even physical strengths. Sometimes your bodies won't let it. Sometimes your body's what's stopping you from going deep and going low. And a lot of guys, especially today, their legs are so narrow. And that's because they're not going down to that deep area where your legs have to stabilize back and forth and then back up. And that's how your leg gets wider. Not putting your legs together, not putting bands around your knees, not doing stupid hip thrusters, and none of the shit you ever saw my dad or anyone else do back in the day, but then they had big ass legs. Anyone ever see Tom Platz do hip thrusts with a bar on his dick? I haven't. Anyone seen him put any rubber bands around his knees so that way he can keep his legs together so that way he can work on the outside sweep? Me neither. That means it's not necessary. You can only drink so much pre-workout and coffee and intra-workout. There's a difference of being sleepy tired and stamina fatigue tired. If you don't have those carbs, or sugars or shit fats. It doesn't matter how much caffeine or stimulants you drink. I'm wide awake, but I feel like I'm gonna die. I just keep telling myself my competition's feeling the same thing. They're going through the same shit. None of the 19 guys that are in this Olympia do not kill themselves, do not go past failure, do not do every single cliche quote there is on social media. The difference is we don't post them, we do them. Yeah. And that's the end of leg day. Really, it's quad day. I separate my quads and my hams. I do quads twice a week, I do hams twice a week. My right leg's a lot bigger than my left, so on my second day, I'll do primarily just my left leg, and I'll do some hamstrings and some calves and stuff like that. But today, just like our back day, it's just the fundamentals, and that's all you need to do. Squats, leg press, you could throw in some lunges if you want, some hack squat, and leg extensions. That's it. You don't have to do anything crazy, unless you're like these guys that are in here that have been pros for as long as I've been alive, like Dax and Sean. Once you have to start manipulating your body from different angles and different tolls, unless you're these guys, you don't have to do crazy ass shit. And I'm talking like I have the greatest legs in the world, which I don't. My legs can be way better, but they grow every year. Every year they get better. And I promise you, if you're just doing full range of motion, you're stretching and letting that fascia stretch out, so that way you can make more room for more muscle to grow, your legs will grow. There's no secrets. There's nothing other than just killing it, going to where you feel like you're gonna throw up, and then doing 2 more. And like I talked about in our last video when I was getting ready for Chicago, if you're in the middle of your set and you start wanting to quit or telling yourself 10 reps is good enough instead of 15, then you should make yourself pay. You should add extra reps, because that's the mind telling you that body part that you're working on is very weak. Our bodies don't want to do what we're making it do. So if you're doing something and it's easy, your body's telling you it's easy. So if you start going through these mental battles, like as you're doing the reps, you're like, oh, actually I'm going to stop on this rep. That's literally your body telling you that is your worst body part, and it's trying to get out of it. So the only way to be able to get over that is just to make yourself suffer even more. So sometimes I did it, like on the leg extension. Sometimes I was trying to shoot for 12. And yeah, I didn't quit, but maybe a couple of those reps, I could have squeezed a little bit harder. I could have pointed my toes a little bit harder. So I ended up just going to 15. Make sure that it's not just this magical number. And actually one thing, my dad didn't really help me out a lot, but I would overhear a lot of the things that he would say to other people. And one of the things that really stuck in my head is we need to get off of these whole numbers. For some reason, as weightlifters, we have 10, 5, 15, 20, we have these rounded numbers to make it to. And really, if you're only going to 10, you're not doing something right. That means you probably could have done 11, and that you should have shot for 11. And if you can barely get 10, then that means, yeah, you did it right. But you should always be able to force out 1, and for some reason we have this number that we have to make it to. Sometimes it helps. I'll admit, with abs, if I have a certain number that I'm trying to make it to, it helps me to just rock it out to get to that number. But sometimes if you are just going to 10 or 15 and you're doing your reps and your last rep looks like your first rep and you're done, but because you reached that number, I'm sorry, you failed yourself. No muscle was worked that day. You woke it up, and just when you got it to get it stimulated and break it down so that way you can heal it with all the other things that we talked about today, you stopped. And that's what stops people from having legs. And that's one of the biggest things in bodybuilding. I feel like that's really lagging. Besides stage presence and posing, like I talked about earlier, we're so concentrated on this shoulder one from the back, I think the guys today have some of the worst legs. It's just, but if you stand next to 5 other people with mediocre legs, then your legs don't even have to be that crazy. And unfortunately, that's starting to be the problem, is that we're getting so focused on glutes and hams and lower back and Christmas trees. But some of these guys' legs look like upside down triangles. They just come down to a point. There's no sweeps at all. There's no flaring quads in bodybuilding anymore. And it's also because there's the gamble, and the most dangerous muscle to train is legs. And like I talked about earlier, yeah, knowing how to push that threshold and going past failure, legs is the most dangerous, because you can, so take an instance for like guys like Dexter and Sean. For them to get under a squat rack, the amount of muscle that they're gonna gain from that is very little. But the amount of risk and toll that they're putting on their body, it's just not worth it. So sometimes we see these guys, our idols, and I do it too. I have everyone's DVD, and you watch the whole DVD and you're like, they didn't do a squat that whole set. And it's because they did when they were at my stage in the beginning, when nobody cared about them, nobody was watching them, nobody was filming them. So you have to be able to get down gritty and do the groundwork. And you know, a house is built from the ground up, and you have to have a base. And I feel like me getting into bodybuilding, and my legs were always bigger than my upper body. That's not a problem to me. Worse, all I have to do is just keep training, my upper body will grow, no problem. A lot of these guys are going to be at this Olympia stage. Their upper bodies are ridiculous, and their legs still look exactly the same. And that, after a while, you can't fix it. Sometimes you put such a toll from powerlifting or lifting so heavy that we lose that mind to muscle connection. Sometimes your joints do the work, and you think, I did X amount of weight. I did 500 pounds, 600 pounds, when really you could have did 135 and squeezed, used the muscle the right way, contracted it, and they'll grow even more. So I hope that this workout can kind of show you, again, my legs still need a lot of work. They're not shitty, and really, what did I do? I didn't do anything fancy. There's nothing special. There was no secrets. No one's gonna watch this video and it's gonna be like, oh my God, why haven't I been doing that this whole workout? I hope that people will watch this and say, man, I don't need to change anything up. I don't have to do anything special. All I need to do is what works and do it better, and do it with better quality. So that's leg day. Now the rest of my night, the only thing good about leg day is there is no night cardio. Even if I wanted to be that macho, nothing's gonna stop me. All I'm doing is deteriorating my quads by being on the stairs after I fatigue them like this. Because if you can leave leg day walking, you didn't do legs. And if you can leave and you can barely walk, then getting on the stairs, getting on a treadmill, or even a bike, you're only just putting your legs more in a catabolic, and you're just deteriorating them. So the only good thing about right now is I get to go home and I am done for the rest of the night. One thing that I do believe in, besides all the things that we talked about today, is icing. I'm big on icing my knees. I feel like people only start to ice and deal with injuries once they've already happened. I've seen people that I look up to my whole life, and they just ice their knees every leg day, no matter what. And preventative health is way more important than trying to fix things once they're already a problem. Because I promise you, if you have knee problems, ice isn't gonna do shit. So I'm literally gonna waddle out of here. I'm gonna eat some fish, some tilapia. I'm gonna ice my knees, keep them elevated, and that's probably where I'll be for the rest of the night until I come back tomorrow morning for cardio. So that is conclusion of leg day. Stay tuned. Thanks, MD.